All right, so today we are taking a deep dive into cell therapy.
Sounds exciting.
It is. And we've got some really cool source material to work with.
Okay, yeah, I was looking over that too before we get started.
Yeah, it talks about this software called TeselaGen and how it's helping scientists kind of revolutionize the whole field.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and it's all about managing all this information that goes into designing and optimizing like biological products and stuff.
Right, managing the entire workflow, basically.
Exactly, from the very first idea to the final product. So
It's a lot to manage.
it is. And apparently they can even use like custom templates and workflows to make their research more efficient.
Oh, wow, that sounds super useful.
Yeah, it does. So I'm excited to learn more about this.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be really interesting to see how this kind of software can impact research.
Absolutely. So let's start with the basics. Can you give us a quick explanation of what cell therapy actually is?
Sure, so basically, cell therapy is a type of treatment that uses cells to fight diseases.
Okay, so like using your own body to heal itself.
Exactly. Like, imagine taking cells from your body,
Okay.
modifying them in the lab to give them specific disease-fighting abilities, and then putting them back in to do their job.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's kind of like training your cells to be like an elite army or something.
Yeah, kind of. A
Yeah.
good example is CAR-T cell therapy, which is being used for cancer treatment.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't really know much about it.
So scientists take a patient's T cells, which are part of the immune system,
Yeah.
and they modify them to recognize and attack cancer cells more effectively.
So they're like super powered immune cells.
Basically, yeah, and it's showing some incredible promise.
That's awesome. So where does TeselaGen fit into all this?
Well, as you can imagine, cell therapy research is extremely complex.
I can only imagine.
There's a huge amount of data
Huh.
involved. Like, you're working with DNA sequences, amino acid chains, and all this information about plasmids and viral vectors.
Whoa, hold on. Plasmids and viral vectors, those sound complicated.
They are, but they're essential.
Okay.
Viral vectors are like delivery vehicles
Okay.
that get the engineered genes into the cells.
Interesting. So it's not just about understanding these basic building blocks of biology. It's also about how to like package them and deliver them.
Exactly. And that's just one part of it. And the traditional ways of managing all this data are, well, they aren't very good.
I bet. I can see how that would get messy quickly.
It does. Think about it. Data might be scattered across spreadsheets, lab notebooks, different software programs. It's easy to lose track of things.
Definitely.
And that leads to frustration and delays.
So it's not just the volume of data, it's also about how it's organized and connected.
Right. That's one of the big things that TeselaGen helps with.
Okay, so how does it do that?
Well, it allows researchers to link all these different data points together in meaningful ways.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you're designing a new CAR T cell therapy.
Right.
You could link the DNA sequence of your engineered receptor to the information about the viral vector you're using to deliver it.
So it's not just a data storage system. It's more like uh, a smart assistant or something.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
It helps you see how all the pieces fit together.
Right. It can analyze massive amounts of data and help researchers make better decisions.
I bet that saves a lot of time and prevents mistakes.
Definitely. It's all about streamlining the research process.
It makes sense. And speaking of streamlining, I read that TeselaGen also allows for a lot of customization.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it so powerful.
But wouldn't that make things even more complicated, adding another layer on top of everything?
Not really. It's actually about making the software work for the researcher, not the other way around.
Okay.
Every research project is unique with its
Ah.
own specific goals and methods.
So it's like a chef creating a custom recipe versus just following a basic formula.
Exactly. TeselaGen allows researchers to create custom templates and workflows that match their exact needs. Oh, I see. So they can tailor it to fit their specific research questions.
Right. For example, let's say you're working on that SIR T cell therapy we talked about earlier.
Okay.
You could create a workflow in TeselaGen that guides you through each step of the process.
That's so cool. What would that look like in practice?
Well, you could have a template for designing the genetic modifications to the T cells,
Okay.
another template for running simulations to test the effectiveness of the therapy,
Interesting.
and another for analyzing the data from your experiments.
So it's like having everything in one place.
Exactly. You don't have to
Yeah.
jump between different programs and spreadsheets.
That would be such a time saver.
It is. And because you can customize these workflows,
Yeah,
you're ensuring that the software is perfectly aligned with your research process.
makes sense.
It's all about minimizing those frustrating moments of like, wait, where's that data? Or how do I connect these two things? Exactly. So it sounds like TeselaGen is making cell therapy research a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean for the average person? Like, why should they care about this software?
That's a great question. And the answer is that increased efficiency in the lab means faster progress in developing new therapies.
That makes sense.
If researchers can work more quickly and efficiently,
Right.
it means that we can get those potentially life-saving treatments to patients sooner.
So it's not just about cool technology. It's
Right.
about actually impacting lives.
Exactly.
That's incredible. So we've learned a lot today. This powerful software is helping researchers unlock the potential of cell therapy, giving them the tools to manage this massive amount of data and customize their workflows in ways that were never possible before.
It's a really exciting time to be in this field.
It sounds like it.
Right.
But here's a question for you to think about.
Okay.
We've talked about cell therapy,
Right.
but what other areas of research could benefit from this kind of technology?
That's a good question.
What breakthroughs might be possible if we could apply this level of data management and customization to other fields? Think about it.
Yeah, that's definitely something to consider. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
I think so too. And on that note, we'll wrap up for today.
Great talking to you.
You too. Until next time.
See you then.